Hi, my name is Alan Lamont. This is another video in the series with me and Jorg Glisman. And Jorg Glisman has a radio broadcast on the website Grand Design Exposed. It's called Mystery Babylon News Radio with Walt Stickel and the founder of AvenueOfLight.com. The radio broadcasts are called Jesuits Derooting the Reformation, Part 1 to 3. And you will also find on the website the American Revolution, Jesuit connecting to John Adams and Benjamin Franklin, and really the whole history of America, which has been covered up and rewritten. And George goes into that whole history of America. So I really highly recommend that everyone go onto this website. I'll leave the link on the description section of the video. Go and listen to these radio broadcasts, or download the MP3s, audios, and listen to those radio broadcasts. Okay, welcome, Jorg.
Yeah, hello, Alan.
Yes, I would
nice to having me on.
That's
You
fine.
know,
I would like to begin by talking about some famous quotes of the Jesuits, and then you can come in and talk about, the real history of America. Now, I'd like to begin by making a quotation from John Adams. Now, it's very clear that some of these presidents, even though they expose the Jesuits, they're working for the Jesuits. I'll begin, first of all, by explaining a quotation here from John Adams, born in 1735 to 1826. He was the second president of the United States, and it appears that in exposing the Jesuits that he is, a Protestant, but you have to really dig deeper. Okay, this is a quotation from John Adams, quote, "My history of the Jesuits is not eloquently written, but is supported by unquestionable authorities, and is very particular and very horrible. There, the Jesuit Order's restoration in 1814 by Pope Pius is indeed a step towards darkness, cruelty, despotism, and death. I do not like the appearance of the Jesuits. If ever there was a body of men who merited eternal damnation on earth and in hell, it is the Society of Jesus, Ignatius de Loyola." This is spoken by John Adams, the second president of the United States of America. I could bring many other quotes, but I'm not going to. I'm going to pass it on to Jorg. Jorg, I would like to ask you a question, and if you could follow on from this.
I can, yeah.
Go
Thanks
ahead,
for having
brother.
me
Go
on
ahead.
again, Alan.
Yeah.
It's quite an interesting night tonight. People have to know it's 2 a.m. in the morning over here where I'm just doing this, and I love it. And to me, it could go on all night. But okay, I wanna fall in on this John Adams that you just cited. You said that John Adams was the second president of the United States of America,
That's
right?
correct. That's correct. Yeah.
He also was the first vice president.
Okay.
And as we all know, the president is just a puppet on a string, and the vice president has all the power. And well, John Adams was the first vice president, so he must have had quite some power, I guess. There is a quote that I like to read for you that John Adams is appointed to, and that is, quote, "Philosophical reason must override the word of God, where the word of God is in disagreement with the understanding of a natural man," end quote. This has all to do with people who are like Thomas Paine, who is the author of The Age of Reason, who are defending the reason and humanism instead of Christianity. John Adams was connected to Rousseau and Voltaire, who were both anti-Christian. Voltaire states, quote, "It took 12 ignorant fishermen to establish Christianity, and I will show the world how it only takes one Frenchman to destroy it," end quote. When you read sentences like this and know that people like John Adams and George Washington and Thomas Paine and all these so-called founding fathers, all right, are associated with people who are deists, then you cannot uphold the argument that the United States of America was founded by Protestants.
No.
even though in the beginning it was 99% Protestant and only 1% Catholic. And then overcame the Ark and the Dove in 1633, and within 200 years this 1% turned into almost a 100%.
Mm.
I mean, something interesting that most people do not know is that the Supreme Court of the United States contains of 9 judges who were all Protestant at that time, but today you have 6 Catholics and 3 Jews, and not one Protestant on the United States Supreme Court. Let's go a little bit into Thomas Jefferson. Thomas Jefferson is the co-writer of the Declaration of Independence.
Uh-huh.
The Declaration of Independence starts with a sentence that everybody knows, but sadly enough, nobody thinks about the words, what they really mean. Quote, "We hold these truths to be self-evident." That's a very interesting quote, eh?
Mm-hmm.
And that's how the Declaration of Independence starts. You have to know that we hold these truths to be self-evident. Those are engineered words by the Jesuits, engineered words to specifically reject the biblical idea of revelation or prophecy that comes from heaven as the authority of human government. We hold these truths to be self-evident. This contradicts Colossians 2, verse 8. Quote, "Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit, after the tradition of men, after the rudiments of the world, and not after Christ." End quote. So there you see already in the first sentence of the Declaration of Independence that the United States of America has not been founded by Protestants, Bible-believing Christians. I can give you endless list more examples. I just want to go back to an accident that happened 2.5 months ago with this Diane Reedy, the House stenographer, who was filmed on C-SPAN saying into the microphone in the Congress of the United States, "God will not be mocked, you cannot serve 2 masters," and the United States of America was founded by Freemasons. I have my questions about that Diane Reedy lady from the beginning. When you watch the videos later came out, you see that she was saying that at the elevator and not at the podium where she was standing on. But that's something else. But I mean, the people are giving here some information via C-SPAN. Well, Freemasons founded this country. I thought they were all Christians. Well, when you know a little bit about Freemasonry, you know that Freemasons have to swear an oath in their inauguration, and that is not on the Bible and not on Jesus. That is on some other God.
Yeah.
The point is, we hold these truths to be self-evident. Here you have it clearly with because it contradicts Colossians 2:8 and probably even some more things in the Bible, that you see that this is not a Christian, could not have been a Christian nation, or people who founded the nation could not have been Christians, because otherwise they wouldn't have said things like this. That is just to deceive the people, and well, like the Jesuits, white is black and black is white, and or black is whatever you tell me. Even if it is white, when you tell me it is black, it is black.
Yeah.
They will believe all that.
You see, the Jesuits have to bring revolution before they can create their nations. They have to do that.
Yeah.
It's like
just a second anymore, because I really want to say about
yeah.
this.
Go ahead, brother. Go on.
Yeah. Have you ever heard of the Treaty of Tripoli from 1797?
I have heard of that. Yeah.
The Treaty of Tripoli was a treaty of peace and friendship between the United States of America and the Bey and subjects of Tripoli of Barbary. Was the first treaty concluded between the United States of America and Tripolitania, signed at Tripoli on November 4th, 1796, and at Algiers for a third-party witness on January 3rd, 1797. It was submitted to the Senate by President John Adams, receiving ratification anonymously from the U.S. Senate on June 7, 1797, and signed by Adams, taking effect as law of the land on June 10, 1797. Why am I reading this? Because article number 11, which is authored by George Washington, is what you need to hear. Quote, as the government of the United States of America is not, in any sense, founded on the Christian religion, as it has in itself no character of enmity against the laws, religion, or tranquility of Mussulmen, and as the said states never entered into any war or act of hostility against the Mahometan or Mohammedan nation, it is declared by the parties that no pretext arising from religious opinions shall ever produce an interruption of the harmony existing between the two countries. End quote. I will put the link from the Wikipedia page, Treaty of Tripoli, where you can read that for yourself at the end of the video. As the government of the United States of America is not in any sense founded on the Christian religion, how much more proof do you need that not Protestants, not Christians, founded that country? So I think this is really, really something interesting. Another little advice I want to give our viewers is that they watch the documentary The Hidden Face of the Founding Fathers by Chris Pinto. It's a 3-hour documentary, and I can assure you, when you watched it, you will watch it again. And after that, you will maybe even watch it again. But be sure to watch at 2 hours 13, because there the founding fathers, in brackets, explain how they understand Christianity. And that is a typical deception of black is white and white is black. 2 hours 13 into the documentary, which is 3 hours, you know. By the way, that quotation that you did on the Jesuits from John Adams, I don't know if you know that, but that is on a letter that he wrote to Thomas Jefferson May 5th in 1816. Yeah. So I find this all quite interesting that we have covered today. That was a lot on the Jesuits, that was a lot on the Third Reich, that was a lot on the Second German Reich, that a lot of people do not know. But maybe when you've listened very carefully and you understood that the Germans made the French sign the peace treaty in 1871 in the castle of Versailles at the Hall of Mirrors, then you will also understand why the Germans were humiliated at the end of World War I and why the law that forbade Jesuits in the country of Germany was abolished in 1917. Funny enough, in the same year the Americans entered the war after the false flag of sinking the Lusitania, which is not the first false flag, because there was also the sinking of the Maine in the American-Spanish War. That is to be called the first false flag. And after that, okay, you had Pearl Harbor, which was a false flag, and then you had the Gulf of Tonkin, that was a false flag, and then you had the didn't take place, Operation Northwoods. It didn't take place, and then you had 9/11. And since 9/11, World War III started. So, really, get in your seats, buckle up, because it's going to be a long ride. World War III is already on for 12 years, and most people haven't even understood that it is. Yeah. So, I want to thank you all for your following, and I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did making it, together with Ellen. Thank you, good night, and bye-bye, and God bless.
Yes, and watch the videos that have been posted, and go to the radio broadcasts on the website, links on the description section of the video, on the Jesuits derooting the Reformation. Thank you very much for listening to the video. God bless you.